Are Christians destroying the planet? It's a good question. And if you don't understand the basis of the question, think about the fact of how many times you might have talked to a Christian person or heard a Christian talk about how they don't have to worry about things or they can forget about the problems of today because they know they're going somewhere better. They know that the afterlife for them is going to be awesome because they're going to paradise, they're going to heaven. I know people that have told me this directly. That when they start to get worried or whatever, they just don't worry about it because this life is not for them. It's not long term. They're going off to heaven. And it perpetuates the thought that it doesn't really matter all that much right now what happens on the planet. If the planet's gonna die or climate change is gonna destroy it, well, the planet's not gonna die, but if it's gonna kill us off, from a Christian standpoint, it's not a big deal. It's not a big concern because down the road, if they get killed off tomorrow, they're all going to heaven. I mean, they all believe in the rapture anyways. They believe that all the rest of us are going to be left here one day. We're all going to wake up in the blink of an eye, and everybody that's not a Christian is going to be sitting on the planet going, where did all these other people go? Because they've all gone to heaven. And this is the kind of thinking that perpetuates the climate change deniers, the people that don't care about the planet, the people that deny, like that idiot senator, politician that got up in the middle of the floor of the Senate or wherever that was recently and threw a snowball that he'd rolled outside to say, well, look, it's cold outside. There's no such thing as global warming. It's just the stupidity of it, the sheer stupidity. And he was a right-wing Republican. Typically the worst offenders are right-wing Republicans. They're hardcore Christians. At least that's what they call themselves. I think they give some Christians a bad name. But henceforth, if you're a right-wing Republican, you think you're going on to heaven. You forget. You never hear them talking about the parts of the Bible where they're told to be good stewards of the earth. They conveniently forget that. And they just, interesting that, most right-wing Christians, right-wing Republican politicians would say that they are Christians. They would call themselves Christians. They would identify as Christians. And yet, those are the climate change deniers. Those are the ones in the world today who are saying there's no problem with climate change, that there's no problem with global warming. They're, saying that the science isn't correct when, 99.9 or whatever percent of the scientists out there agree that there's a problem that needs to be fixed. These people are like burying their heads in the sand because they're going to go to heaven anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, that is where the question comes from. Are Christians responsible for the state of the planet today? Is this line of thinking, this Christian mentality, underlining part of the reason why they're not believing in or choosing not to believe or choosing to think that it's not what's happening, that there's not climate change going on, that there's not global warming, and that they don't need to do anything about it. What do you guys think? Am I way off base here? Am I right? Am I wrong? Leave a comment below in the comments. Let's have a discussion on it. Thanks for tuning in.